Hello everyone and welcome to Gamers Breakfast and welcome to our segment called Snack Break, episode 12, I think? Something like that. But welcome.
It's one of them.
I am your host, SkojSkull. We're going to be talking about gaming stuff today like Pokemons, and I got with me my co-host, Jalbagel.
That's it. That's my name. Jalbagel.
Oh man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm sleepy, but I'm good.
Yeah, no, you had like a rough week with work and everything and trying to like balance that with streaming.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it was a lot. But yeah, no, let's talk about Pokemons.
Oh yeah. We got like a shit ton of stuff that happened recently, so we want to just kind of go over it because it's like I'm really excited now. I cannot wait. When's this coming out? October? No, November. Yeah. God,
as Pokemon's games do.
Oh yeah.
They'll be coming out in November.
Oh my goodness. Do you think we'll get another remaster like next year?
I mean, probably. I don't want them to harm Black and White like at all. I want them to leave it alone.
But it's probably gonna end up being like an open world Black and White if we do get something like that. Imagine.
And it probably would work really, really well in like the way that I want to see Pokemon. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but
we're really ahead of ourselves. But it'd just be really exciting because like they're introducing the whole open world aspect, and Black and White is like almost open world, but like with a linear story progression.
I mean, like it was theirs was like a really big circle. Yeah. But what was really cool about Black and White's like world design was that there was a bunch of cities. Right, like you had like a bunch of like different cities that you could go and explore, and seeing that in a modern engine with modern Pokemon with the open world aspects, that might be really exciting because it looks like, I mean, they've already shown like some open world aspects like inside of the city areas, like inside of like the actual like towns and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what I want. I don't want just like these like places put down in this rural expanse, and then all the rural expanses Pokemon, like why not the towns and stuff? So it's looking promising so far. Let's talk about this like grocery list of things that you put down here.
I put down like a whole list of things because there was like a recent update they put out and they threw out a lot of information. I was like, maybe I should probably like list things for the podcast this week, because it's like if we weren't to list things, then we would probably miss like 3 or 4 of these things.
Oh, we'd miss everything.
So the new region is called Paldea region, which I think is like a really good name for the region.
That's a nice name.
It's a good name. It's a P name. I like P names.
It is a P name, yeah. Yeah, like
because my name's
other
Philip.
P words. Yeah, that's the P word I was thinking of.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah, Paldea is a good word.
Yeah,
and then so the regional variants are called Paldean, which is kind of nice.
Oh. I didn't even know that. I didn't even look into that. I think one thing that's interesting is like the writing legendaries, because that's it seems like we're gonna just get introduced to the legendaries from the get-go. Like it doesn't like usually every game they're like this big bad, like you fight this big bad and that's like the main goal. You want to fight these legendaries and capture them, but now they're giving it to you like right away, which makes me think, what if there's like a big bad like kind of hidden like Monster Hunter where you won't really encounter it until later, and they're like hinting bits and pieces. And
I mean that was kind of done in like Sun and Moon and Gen 7, because like you encountered the island guardians pretty early. It's not like I got to use them, but you encountered them pretty early, like Tapu Koko's in the opening sequence of the game. And what ends up being like the big bad that you go and encounter towards the end are Ultra Beasts and Necrozma. And then the same thing happens in Sword and Shield, where you encounter the legendary dogs pretty early on, but they kind of like more or less disappear. And then you have Eternatus that you have to go and deal with, which you end up using the legendary dogs, it's super cool. So I mean, like I think this is really neat, and you know it really shows too, because their design when they showed it in like the trailer is different than their box art design and the design that we've seen, right? Like they have, you know, missing features, right? Like Koraidon, the red one, is like missing like all of his feathers and stuff, and Miraidon, the purple or blue one, is missing like a lot of the electrical effects around it. And so it looks like, yeah, that they're in this kind of like dormant phase where, you know, we get to use them as like a vehicle, but maybe not in our party until later when we unlock their potential.
Ooh,
some anime shit.
Maybe. I mean, it could be, or this is like you said, they're like dormant state, and then when you go into battle, like maybe they activate and they just become the box art forms. That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
I would hope that they don't just give us a legendary at the beginning of the game. If they do, that bastard's getting boxed so fast.
I mean,
and I just will not use it.
I imagine it's gonna kind of be like how it was in Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, where we use them for different situations and kind of go around, and it might not be in our party, and maybe it's just like, I mean, that'd be kind of broken to have it in your party right from the get-go.
I mean, if it's like an actual legendary, it could also be like Black and White Special Delivery Victini, which is a legendary Pokemon, but when you got it, it was level 5. Or like the Manaphy from Ruby Sapphire Emerald, which was also level 5.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be something along those lines where like you get it in the beginning of the game, but it's just like babby. That would also feel kind of really weird, you know, like with their designs and just how they are. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Like it's kind of interesting to speculate on, you know, like what are the story elements and how does that affect gameplay?
Well, definitely. And then we got that we'll be a student, so we're gonna be going through a storyline where we can be a student, but then they're also like different finding this treasure.
Yeah, they call it like the grand treasure hunt or something, and so that's like the big event that's happening during the story of the game. I thought that was like really interesting too, because like, I mean, I guess since we're talking about like what the game is about, we can talk about this too. The there are 3 different stories to play through the game. You can get to the end of the game 3 different ways, and you can play the game how you want to play the game. And so like you have, you know, your traditional gym, you know, your gym arc, like your gym tournament arc, where you go through, you gather your 5 badges and you go and take out the Pokemon League. Super cool.
Oh yeah.
Then there's 2 other mysteries to go and solve, like in Paldea, and they haven't really talked about those too much, and so I'm really excited about those. And it also seems the way that they talked about it, right? This I don't know if it's the case, but the way that they've talked about it, at least, is that you can choose to do any of them, right? They've confirmed that, like, you can choose to do any of them to progress your game. But it also sounded like you can do all 3 of them too.
I hope so.
I would like that, to be able to do one playthrough, do all 3 stories.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't want to, because Pokemon is only one save file. So I would love...
Caveat, you can create another account on your Switch, a dummy account, and then play on that. And so that's what a lot of like people do for speedrunning, because they don't need access to online unless you're doing like, you know, a speedrun with a DLC, because then you have to buy the DLC for that account. But yeah, if you just make a new account, you can play through the game again just on that new Switch account.
That's true, but that's so much work. Just go into another account, just make another account and just like set that up.
All you have to do is just make another account, and then you open the game and it asks you which one you want to use, and you pick the other one. You pick SkojSkull 2.
But I just want to choose the first one.
Oh, you can't hit right. Got it. You can't just input right. Holy.
No, that'd be great. That's rough. Nah, but I think it'd be really cool. Like, I hope you can do all 3 storylines. I would really hope so.
And something that I'm really, really hoping that they recognized is the necessity for side game content, right? If you have an open world, you need a reason to explore it, and 3 main storylines is not going to be enough, in my opinion, to explore the entire area. Each storyline should give you like 80% of the game, 70% of the game at a bare minimum, right? Like you've done and gone through and explored 70% of the game. The other 30% should be in side content, or like a 50-50. Like, that'd be great too. But as long as, like, if they aren't going to do anything on the side, like, you need to be able to explore the entire game. Like, the stories need to take you through the entirety, you know, of everything. But like, side content is really what's going to allow you to actually explore and appreciate this land. Because I mean, they put like as far as a Pokemon game is concerned, because there's could be people out there, well, it looks like shit. As far as a Pokemon game is concerned, this game has a lot of detail and has a lot put into it, right?
Oh yeah, it looks like gorgeous, to be honest.
Yeah. It's like super mysterious like towers. We've got like, an area that has a bunch of like windmills in it. We've got like the beach fronts, and they've shown a lot of like character and like design in these games.
The caves have depth.
So good. Yeah. I mean, the games look like they have depth, right? We'll see if they actually do, when they come out, because that's always the scam. It's like, well, yeah, we made an open world game, but there's nothing to do in it, and that's just my biggest worry.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We have the new different characters. This is like they look like they have so much character behind them. Like, I love the designs of the characters they have in this game.
Characters have characters. BGL noted.
BGL, listen.
But no, they introduced a shit ton of characters for the game.
Like, there's Arvin, who is like one of the students in your class, I think. We have Clavel, which, depending on the region, he has a different jacket on, which is really nice.
He's like the
professor.
The school. Well, no. He's like the school like
principal,
like administrator. Like, he like runs it. Yeah.
And then we have Grusha, which she looks really cute.
She's a gym leader.
She's a gym leader. He. No.
Yep. Yes.
What?
Hey, Skoy, just go ahead and click on it and see all of the pronouns that say he.
He's usually cool-headed.
That character is he, him.
I am so sorry.
No need to be sorry. You just didn't know.
Ooh. Who seems like a really cool gym leader.
Get it? Because he's the ice type gym leader. You guys get it? He's a really, really cool. Because he's the ice type gym leader. You guys.
Okay, I see how that's not funny. I do that so many times, and I never had it done on me before. Now I realize how unfunny that is.
Wait, that was unfunny? I thought it was hilarious.
No, it's great. And then we got Jack, who seems really cool. He seems like a crazy professor, and I'm all down for it.
He's a bio teacher. Let's go.
He seems really, really cool. And then we have our main characters, which also, depending on the region, you get a color change in clothes, but I think you could also change your outfits later on.
Yeah. They showed that at least like the other player characters are wearing different clothing, and that's been a carryover since Gen 6 now, like a customizable main character.
If they got rid of that, then there would have been an uproar.
Literally riots. There would be riots in the street, especially from me. All right.
And then we got Nimona, who is really awesome. We covered her last time.
But
Penny,
she's the rival.
Yes.
Nimona
and Penny, she's pretty cute as well, and she has a really awesome Eevee backpack. Holy shit, it's huge.
Absolute unit of a backpack.
If they were to ever sell those, it would probably be crazy expensive, but it'd be 100% worth it. And then the professors, who are absolute hunks. Great characters. I am super excited for the rest of the character designs, for especially the gym leaders, because like I feel like the gym leaders usually have like the most unique like character designs in every game.
No, I'm really looking forward to those ones too. Like the gym leader designs have always been so cool, because you can just see like all of the intent and all of the personality just in their outfit and their entire motif.
Oh yeah, like one of the ones from Sinnoh with the wrestler. From
Wake Crasher.
Yeah, Wake Crasher. Holy shit. He makes me happy whenever I like encounter him. I'm just like, you are just
He's
like
awesome.
A muscle man. And then we got
He's a hunk.
He's a hunk. And we got some of the new Pokemon. We got the new Pokemon Wooper, a new Paldean form of Wooper, who looks really cool.
Yeah, he's poison ground. He's called the poisoned fish Pokemon. Guys, it's a fucking Wooper. What else are we gonna say about it? It's awesome.
His sprite is so funny because it's like the opposite of Wooper, whereas like Wooper is just like permanently happy. This one's just permanently concerned.
He's permanently shocked.
He's like, oh my god.
But it's gonna be really cool to see because whenever we have regional variants, we usually have one of two things happen. We either have a regional evolution variant, right? So we'll get like a regional Quagsire, a Paldean Quagsire, or we get a divergent evolution where they evolve into a completely different Pokemon entirely. And so like it'd be like Mudsar or whatever, like who knows, right? Like but it'd be I'm curious to see what little Paldean Wooper becomes if we get Quagsire or if we get a new Pokemon entirely. And I'm actually fine either way. I think both are really cool options. I've always liked that about regional variants.
Me too. It's so cool. I'm glad they've been introducing regional variants too, because it shows like these Pokemon, depending on their environment, they're gonna look differently. And I'm just like, hell yeah, introduce that. Talk more about that, because that's so exciting.
And what's really funny is that that's been a concept since Gen 1 that they just never implemented, right? Like they've just never done that because they really weren't sure how to step around that. But it's been a concept since Gen 1, like how they were talking about like, oh, Pikachu that grow up in different areas have like different like patterns, like, or stripe patterns or like tail shapes and stuff like that, and we're like, what? That's not anywhere. No. And then sure enough, here we go.
And then we got your new mascot, Fido.
It's Bagel Dog. There's nothing else that you need to know. It is a dog made of bread. It is perfect. It needs no other additions or alterations. It's perfect. It
probably tastes good too. And then we got
they even say that the yeast from its body makes things taste better. Fido ferments things in its vicinity Fido ferments things in its vicinity using yeast in its breath. Said yeast is useful for cooking, so this Pokemon has been protected by people since long ago.
Whoa.
Yeah. Its body is moist, smooth, like its skin, and it has elastic qualities, so it literally stretches like dough.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I want to see this in the anime. I want to see how like they depict this in the anime. And
apparently when they intimidate their opponents, they puff up their bodies, and they're fairy type. It makes me so happy to have another early game fairy type.
There we go. I want to use this. I'm excited for like the evolution as well. Let's see what that's gonna look like.
Bread dog.
Bread dog.
That's gonna be its evolution. It's gonna be a Doberman, but now it's baked.
Yeah.
Like baked in the oven, not like, you know.
You never know. And then we got say Titan. Oh
yeah,
bro.
So this is an interesting one.
Is it an evolved form, or is it just a dormant state? I think it's just,
we don't know yet, right?
No, we don't.
It could get the Drampa or Daraludon or Druddigon effect, right, where it just doesn't evolve and it's just like a cool looking, just basic, Pokemon on its own. But these things are actually based on a Japanese cryptid. At least that's the theory behind it. It's based on a Japanese cryptid where people, like old whalers, would talk about these creatures that they would pull up like in their lines that looked like beluga whale. They were like white, like beluga whale, like with a single horn, but then had humanoid characteristics like legs and arms. And so this is kind of reminiscent of that, like with the weird like whale shape and the horns on its head, and then like just bipedal. Like it's super strange, but it looks, I think it's just such a like cool design. It's very Pokemon in that it is like very over the top.
It's really cool, and I like the white designs. They don't do that many white designs for Pokemon.
Yeah,
and it's such a cool color because like the shiny for like Gigamax Gengar is like a white, or Mega Gengar is like white.
Yeah, Mega Gengar's all white.
So good. It looks so good. I'm glad they're doing more white designs in general, and I'm excited to see like the shiny versions of all these mons that we just mentioned.
Yeah. It also, so it's an ice type, right? It gets Slush Rush, which is really cool, which means it gets a speed boost in hail. So that'll be really neat because this does not look like a naturally speedy Pokemon.
Nah, it's just chonky.
So Titan.
I'm excited.
Very cool.
And then now the Pokedex entries are shown differently in this game. So it's not your typical like Pokedex. Like now it's like books. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's probably like still like a device that you use, but like the way they enter your Pokedex is like a book. It's like it's the information about this Pokemon.
Journal entry.
Yeah, journal entry. Yeah. So it's like a mix between the two. It seems like. So I'm excited for that. That's gonna be a cool design. I like that.
Yeah.
Multiplayer can literally explore everything. I'm curious to see if like you'd be able to go on your story.
When you were sitting out here and you were like, oh yeah, like the multiplayer is gonna like seclude you from your friends. I'm like, Skoj, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Dude,
here it is. They show them everyone running around in the same area doing the same stuff.
I know I was wrong. I was just skeptical because like Pokemon sometimes they're just like, here's this cool thing, and you actually can't really do that cool thing. It's kind of like you could do multiplayer but only in this specific zone or something. So I'm actually genuinely excited that you could actually do the entire map. So I'm actually curious, like, can you actually like explore the story of the game in multiplayer? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's I really hope you can do that. There is such a possibility of like a good like side content and post game to this, like in just like research expeditions, right? Like you're at a fucking school, like you can just do like research expeditions, like, hey, procedurally generated quests that are just like go in and investigate this thing, collect this item, catch this Pokemon or battle this Pokemon, and then move on with your life. And then that can be expanded on even further in like DLCs or a title update with like legendaries and stuff like that, right? Which they did a really good job in Sword and Shield with that, with Dynamax dens. But Dynamax dens were super boring in that you just walk in, you do the series of them, and then there's a legendary at the end. It has an increased shiny chance because that's how Dynamax dens work, and then you either catch it or you don't, and you move on with your life. Like that was really boring. But the actual like story content, like exploring the new areas and like finding the legendary Pokemons, was so well written as a RPG story that I want more of that, but then like legitimate side content.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, that'd be like a dream.
Do that with your friends.
Yeah,
like being able to do that with your friends, right?
Oh
like
my gosh,
that's the thing. Like that would be ideal.
Oh yeah, and then we got a new Mega Evolution type thing where it's the Terrastalize.
Yeah, I would probably more akin to it. The Dynamaxing.
Yeah.
I don't know really, because like it's maybe it's like it's part Dynamax, it's part Mega Evolution, but like Megas like change your base stats and can change your type and changes your abilities and stuff like that. Like you more or less evolve into a new Pokemon. Gigantamax is just like you increase your stats in a very linear way, and you get your max moves, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of, I would say this is closer to the G-Max stuff, or the Gigantamax and Dynamax stuff.
Yeah.
Because like you each Pokemon, and I don't mean each species of Pokemon, I mean each individual singular Pokemon gets a unique Terra type to them, and then that type determines what type they are when they Terrastalize, and then they can gain certain attacks during that state. We don't know too much more on it,
not really,
other than that's what it is. In addition to changing the Pokemon's type, you can change how many things work. Your Pokemon will now get stab boost if they're using the same move as its Terra type. And the weakness change. If a Terrastalized Pokemon uses a move that matches its Terra type or its original type, the strength of the move is even higher, which is just stab. Which, if you don't know what stab is, that's same type attack bonus.
Yeah.
So as long as you use an attack that's the same type as your Pokemon, it will gain an attack bonus. on that. But I mean, it's really interesting. It'll be interesting to see like how this is kind of balanced in the game, right? Whenever I see these gimmicks like this, like, yeah, sure, like crystal Pokemon, cool, whatever. I'm always concerned about how this affects like the gameplay elements and how this affects my progression and like playing the game.
Because it seems like you do it early
that's
on.
The thing that I'm concerned about. Yeah. No, they show that like the starters terastallizing. It's probably going to be something that we have access to very early on in the game.
Yeah. Oh man, but that's pretty much it. That we
get a cool hat.
Yeah, they get a cool hat
when they terastallize. They get a cool hat.
When you pre-order
Pikachu gets
early,
like, if it has like a flying one, yeah, you get that Pikachu with the balloon hat.
Yeah,
so, very reminiscent of the flying Pikachu.
It could be the case where it's just because the terastallizing thing, like where they say change your typing and everything. I wonder if it's something you find in the wild. You find a terastallized item and you can give it to a Pokemon.
No. Each Pokemon that you catch is unique in that way.
Oh, really?
Right. So like you catch a Pikachu, it has Terra type electric. You catch another Pikachu, it has Terra type ground. You catch another Pikachu, it has Terra type water. Each Pokemon is different, and there's Terra. There's the terastallized dens. They showed this. There are the dens that you can go into and get and have a higher chance of getting a unique Terra type Pokemon.
Okay.
And so. Like they were showing like a Gardevoir that had flying Terra type, you know, or it was grass, was one or the other. But we'll have the ability to find Pokemon that have unique Terra types. I'm curious to see how far it goes. Can any Pokemon have any Terra type? That's my question.
Because then you would want to find one.
Go on.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say then you would want to find one that that has a specific typing that you'd want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can like provide coverage like in your team, you know, like because I'm thinking like if I ever did a mono bug playthrough, I would want to find one that was like water, and then like another one that was like maybe ground, just like things that can cover like weaknesses that I have in the team and like resistances and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and like I think it could be really, you know, unique in how you design a team around Terra types. I'm just really concerned, or not necessarily concerned. I'm really curious to see how it becomes balanced.
Oh yeah, and then we have raid battles. Raid battles return, and you don't have to wait for your partner to do something. That's what they mentioned. I don't know how that's gonna work, because it's just like it's. Have
you ever played Final Fantasy?
No,
just any of them.
So I played like Final Fantasy VII, like the original one, not the remake.
I don't remember how that one. I don't know if that one was okay. So I'm gonna take my knowledge of Final Fantasy 13. Yes, everyone boo. It's the bad one. Whatever. But Final Fantasy 13 is the only one. I've played like 3 Final Fantasy games. That's one of them. And that's the one I played the most of. But they do this thing called the ATP gauge. It's like the active time phase gauge or something.
Okay.
But what it is you have a bar that regenerates over time, and as it regenerates, you complete a section of it, and that is 1 ATP gauge. And certain actions and attacks that you have will cost ATP to do. And you can queue up like actions based on how much ATP you have, like, and how much they cost, et cetera, whatever. The idea is that when you do an attack, that recharges, and then when it's fully charged again, you can do another attack or another action. And I think that's how it's going to work here, where you don't have to wait. Like, I don't have to wait in a turn order for you to go. I can just go. But you can like hold off on attacking, or hold off on using an attack and wait on like what your teammates are going to do. Right? Like you can wait, like, let's say I have a Pokemon that throws out a lot of statuses, you know, like I want to get the Pokemon to sleep, or I want to paralyze it, or I want to like reduce its defenses, or like whatever. And then you have like a really strong like Dragonite or something, and you want to wait for me to get my debuffs on it before you start attacking and using up your PP, or using up your like strong attacks. You want to get the most out of it. So maybe that's what you can kind of use this to strategize a little bit more about who's going to do what. Like, how are we going to heal the team? Like, who's going to do what and when? And do we want to put attacks in specific order? And I hope they consider that when it comes to like new moves in the game and new strategies in the game, because it's kind of like that. I mean, that could be like really strong, like buffing and debuffing. That could be really strong in raid dens, and that'd be really cool to see. I would like that.
Yeah,
let me do that. Let me have my Fido that buffs everybody. That'd be so cool.
Do it. That'd be so sick. Oh my goodness. But I think that about covers everything for Pokemon in general. Some things that new would happen with us is that we're actually starting our own Pokemon Nuzlocke.
Oh yeah, we started that.
Yeah, we did. 4 times the charm. Let's see if we can do it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. I'll actually be posting these on my second channel for everyone to see, but it's basically Jal and I are doing our own Pokemon Soul Link for Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, and it's a randomized Soul Link, so we randomize abilities.
It's a randomized Nuzlocke Soul Link.
Randomized Soul Link, yeah, randomized Nuzlocke Soul Link, where it's just like randomized abilities, randomized the Pokemon encounters, so then with the Soul Link it works, because we can't have the same typing at all, so we have to have one of each typing in our teams.
Yeah.
And it's a trip so far. You fucked me over a lot. Oh man,
I'm impatient.
That's so funny. It was so funny because there was a lot of situations where I'm just gonna go for it. I'm like, no, go back and heal.
And it worked out until I got to Brock, and Brock had a 4 times weakness move against me. Yeah.
Oh man, that was rough.
R.I.P. Fortress. I'll miss him.
But
he was OP.
I would absolutely recommend it. We live stream it on my channel every Monday.
Every Monday
evening, and it's just a blast. I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I think what's really nice about it too, it's just like an opportunity for like you and I to like play a game with each other and just to like sit around and cut up and also like play Pokemon, because you and I really like Pokemon.
Yeah.
And neither of us have touched a Pokemon game since I think the last time we did our shiny hunt, which was that Charmander.
Yep.
That was a while ago. That was months ago.
It was probably a year ago.
Yeah. Oh god, are we that? Oh my god, are we that old?
What do you mean? Our friendship?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I guess.
How long have we known each other?
Definitely longer than a year.
It's gotta be. Yeah, it has to be at least a year, because we're coming up on our 1 year stream or 1 year podcast anniversary.
Yeah.
It's like the 20th, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And something I completely forgot to say. Thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Skoy's gonna wear a banana hammock next podcast.
That's not what I'm doing. We did not agree on that.
No, but thank you guys. Yeah,
holy
it's
shit.
308. Y'all are super cool.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
It's gonna pass my main channel.
It's give it like 10 days probably.
It absolutely will.
Oh my goodness.
That's so fucking funny.
That's crazy. But yeah.
When I was looking to see when our first episode was,
August 30th?
I don't remember. I want to say it was like the 30th or like the 20th or somewhere around there, because it's coming up. We gotta do something special for that one.
We'll do something. We're probably gonna forget.
We will absolutely forget, and we'll get around to it. We'll be like,
happy 1 year anniversary.
That was last month, you idiot.
Shit. But
yeah, August 30th was our first upload. Wow.
Yeah, no, and we're still like we're on a good path to like 1,000 for the our New Year's resolution.
That first podcast has 200 views.
Yep.
Wow.
It's also the channel trailer, so they kind of just like gathers up views as you
that'll do it.
But no, everyone was like, it was close to 200 on the first release anyways, because it was like a lot of people were excited for us to do a podcast. They're like, no way.
Yeah.
But it was really cool because you and I didn't really know each other. I knew about your content and I like watched it here and there, and I got a vibe from you, and I was just like, all right, this guy also knows like a lot more information about a lot of games than I do, and it'd be nice to just like kind of just go back and forth and talk about it. It's like a casual versus speedrunner type of vibe. I feel like we got going on, and I feel like it works out really well.
That vibe you're talking about is called
rage.
You took my joke because I forgot the word I was gonna say. Hold on, let me get back to it. Hold on. Oh, okay. So cut that part. Cut that part out.
I'm not gonna cut it.
You're gonna use this part. Okay, use this part. All right. That vibe that you felt, that you're feeling, that vibe, we call that irritation.
Irritation.
Stuck the landing. Easiest clap of my life.
I mean, I feel like it garnishes for like good discussion too, because it's like you and I have like conflicting opinions sometimes, and it works out because we have discussion. We talk about like.
Yeah, but I'm right.
Excuse me.
Podcast over. Oh, we're canceling each other.
But
get on Twitter right now, like SkojSkull's a butt.
SkojSkull's a butt. But no, like,
it has been like really good, yeah, because you know we look at games like very, very differently, right? Like, and I have to like remind myself too, because you know, being that my main content is speedrunning, I have to, whenever I play a game, not speedrun it, like try not to speedrun it, like actually like try to like take my time. And it's so like when I look at like things, I look at new things, like even just talking about Terrestrialize feature, yeah, sure, glowy rock, whatever. I was more concerned about the competitive aspect of it, like how is that going to affect the competitive meta. I don't play VGC competitive anymore either. I used to in Gen 6, but I don't do it anymore. I'm always curious to see like what that is. But that's just like how my mindset is. And you're like, pretty rock, go shine.
That's a pretty good description. But I mean,
but you definitely, we look at things differently. And I think that's been.
But like we understand how each other looks at things. It's not like we're just like, I look at things this way. I'm never gonna understand how you look at things. It's just so we kind of understand where each other is coming from, which I really like that.
It's like we're husband and wife.
Oh my god.
We're both the wife.
We're both. But I do like understand where you're coming from as well in terms of speedrunning, because I technically have done my own iterations of speedrunning myself before. Where
it's true, he's a gamer.
I would play a game from beginning to end, because it's just like, I know that if I don't do that, I will probably never go back to that game. So that's how I got around with that, was just like I would play a game from beginning to end. I did that with the Spider-Man game that actually just got remastered and is released now.
It came out yesterday. Today or yesterday, I saw someone, one of my mutuals on Twitter had early access for it.
Oh yeah, so like I played that. It was like a 17 hour game just playing the story. That was a long game. Well worth it though. Spider-Man, fantastic. Yeah. Anyways, side tangent, but no, like I guess I kind of understand it, the whole speedrunning thing, because that's essentially speedrunning. That was any percent Spider-Man that I just did, basically.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. What was I going with that?
1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary.
Yeah. 1 year wedding anniversary. August 30th.
But then we started the shorts, and I feel like the shorts have been really, really fun, because it's really fun interacting with you guys with just those specific topics that we post, either on TikTok. By the way, thank you so much for 100+ on TikTok. Crazy.
That's big.
And we're 100+ on Twitter too, just looking at numbers like that. So it's really insane. So thank you all so much for all the love and support so far.
Thank you.
This is just the beginning. But not really.
Next stop, we're gonna get bought by HBO.
No. But no, like eventually at some point in the future, we would definitely love to look into sponsors and stuff like that as well. But this is just like, we're doing this just for fun, and we're kind of just leading towards that professionalism with the podcast. So yeah.
And it's all thanks to you, viewer.
Thank you. Thanks to viewers like you.
All made possible by viewers like you.
Thank you.
We sound like public access television.
That's PBS. Oh wait. Oh. Is that what you just said?
Yes. PBS is public access television, correct.
Oh boy. All right.
Good job.
Before we hop off, do you want to plug your merch?
Oh yeah, I guess I do have that, don't I?
Holy shit.
Literally wearing it.
He's literally wearing it.
I I just made a merch store finally after promising to do it since January of this year. I was like, New Year's resolution, make a merch store. Finally did it in August. We did it.
We did it.
Yeah, like I'm obviously wearing the hat. And you know, I'm just so adding good. It actually came out amazing. And I'm really upset because this morning Bo chewed on the strap for this one. No. And now it's destroyed.
Time to order like 5 more.
I ordered 2.
There you go.
I ordered 2. I'm giving one to my brother because he likes snapbacks and stuff like that, and he said he wanted one, and then, you know, this one will now be my spare.
It's
and
a clean
then I'll have
look.
The other one. Oh,
because your logo is so good.
This.
It's like it's a hat that I feel like anyone would wear, and I feel like that's really smart when it comes to like content creator clothing. So.
Oh yeah, look at that thing. And this is going to be great for audio listeners.
Oh, absolutely. He's just like ASMRing the mic right now.
Oh yeah.
No,
look at that. Look at that yellow circle surrounding my signature. Which, by the way, that's my real well, not my real last signature, but that's like the signature that I use like for streaming.
Oh yeah, so that's gonna be really cool. Like on your promo card, whenever you use like a promo card when we go to like San Diego. If you're gonna do that,
business cards. And no, we're not going to TwitchCon.
Nope.
Well, so why would I make business cards? I'm not doing that.
Just give it to our friends that know us already.
I also wasn't gonna do that because I don't look at this stuff as like a business yet. And I don't see myself as a marketable piece yet. We're getting there. One day we're getting there.
You're getting there.
But yeah.
I've all getting there.
yeah, exactly. No, but the merch store is really cool.
Buys merch. Do it.
do it if you want to. Don't if you also want to. I mean, Skoj said he wanted a dad cap, so I made a dad cap for him.
Oh my gosh, I was so excited when you're just like, oh yeah, they have dad caps. You can do that too. And I'm like, give me a dad cap. Do it right now. And beanies. Oh. Bro.
Yeah, the beanie got approved. I'm still waiting on the dad cap to get approved because right. This is embroidered.
Yeah.
It's high quality merchandise.
Yeah.
And it's actually stupid affordable. Too. They like, you know, content creation aside and stuff like that. Like they, you know, let me like set my own rates for this, and like they don't charge like out the ass. Like it's insane how inexpensive they actually keep this whole process, and they're made to order, right? It's not like they print 100 and you have to sell them. Like they're made to order and still this inexpensive. It's a really good, good gig.
Yeah. With that, I think about covers everything. He has a mug too. Oh man, but I was the one who started this. Thank you all.
You were the one that started this, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, check out all of our links in the description below. We'll see you guys next week with a new guest, and yeah, no, it's been Grace. It's been great.
Whoever Grace is, she's doing a great job.
Absolutely. But yeah, put it in your mouth, and we'll see you all next time.
Definitely do that. Yep. I'm now just gonna accept it. I can't stop it.
Oh shit.